Okay, so here we are discussing about the use of function, user defined function, not the inbuilt function. So inbuilt functions are there. Besides that, we can define our function as well. And here one such example is given. We know that how to write the function. So first part is to define that function. So that is starting with def keyword, and then the function name, simple underscore interest here, the function name, and within the parenthesis we are passing some arguments. Okay, so these are the different arguments which we need to calculate the interest value, that is principal amount, rate of interest, and time. So we know that, we know beforehand, and that's why we have defined, we have used these three argument. Now we need to calculate that thing. What is the calculation? We know that simply p multiplied by t multiplied by r divided by 100. So that is the formula how to calculate the simple interest. So we are using that thing, right? Now we have also discussed the last class that we need to return this thing. You can also print that value over here. Okay, no problem. You can get that answer too, but there will be problem if you are trying to save that value for further use. So then you will not get that value, right? So if you forget, so please go back and check that lecture again. So you will understand that why the return is important here, because this is a hyperlink kind of thing. So Python will read the line by line codes, and it will take this value then after this definition of this code. This is the body, so one line here, that is the body of the function, and now we are taking the inputs from the user. So three inputs will be there, p, r, and t. You know how to take the input values. So this is the way. Okay, and then you are writing print simple interest. Simple interest, that is the function name. Okay, and within parentheses the argument. Okay, now here you, I hope you can understand that this function calling is merged with the print statement. Okay, within the print statement this has been done, but you can do it separately. You can directly you can use another variable to store this thing, like this, a equals this, and then you can use print a. Okay, you can do that also, the same thing. Okay, is it clear? So only the function calling part is merged with this print statement here. Any problem? Now if you run it, what will happen? It is asking for principal amount. Okay, you have 1 lakh rupees. Now enter the rate of interest. Say you are in saving account, so 3%. And the time, suppose you are waiting for 10 years. So how much interest you are getting? Only 30,000. Okay, so it is printing the value of A. Or you can do it in one line also. You can merge it. So the exact same result will happen. All right. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, if we are try to solve our problem. What was the problem? First, let me find out the problem first. What was given? Hmm. Okay, got it. So
Sir,
right, yes.
sir, I don't understand how the output we get enter the principal amount. What we run for the we get the enter the principal amount 10,000, enter the rate. We simple type it.
I'm not getting your question. What you are asking? Can you repeat again?
We get the output here. The enter the principal amount of 10,000.
No,
How?
no. It is not the output. It is the prompt. It is the prompt because you have used this word. Enter the principal amount inside the input function. Okay, and that's why it is printed, and then it is asking for the value.
So
That
when so okay, we will last we when you use the print simple interest and run, then automatically it's yeah.
yes, simple interest is printed from here, and then it is calculated the value. Okay, which is stored in this A earlier. Now here on the fly, this value is printed. Okay, when you are running the same value, that A earlier example I showed you, that was the A variable. If you use another variable, so then that value will store that into that variable, and then it was printed. So similarly, here you are not storing that value, you are just printing that value. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now what was the question? So this was the question. Yeah. Write the Python code using an user defined function DNA length, where user will provide the DNA sequence, the code will calculate the GC% of the input sequence. Okay, so what will be the first line? Obviously the definition part. So def, the function name is also given, isn't it? What is the function name? Can you tell me, anyone? The function name?
DNA
The
length.
def underscore DNA.
Fine. Now we need to write that DNA underscore length. Next, what do we need to do? We need to use the parenthesis. Then next line. What is the aim of this program? To count the GC%. That means we need to identify the number of G's and number of C's. Okay. So obviously you need two variables to store that values. One is, suppose you are using G, and what it will count? What it will count? G. Okay. Sorry. Now another variable you need, that is C. What it will count? C.
C.
Okay. Now you need to calculate the GC value. Okay. So GC value is what? G plus C value divided by, tell me what I will write.
100
How do I know it will be 100?
percentage, sir. GC percent.
No, that is to convert this GC value to percent, that is you need to multiply that value with
Sir,
100.
the total length of DNA.
Tell
Sir,
me.
actually, we haven't yet used anything to input the sequence, right?
Right, we have not used that. Right. Wait for a minute. I'm going to that part. So length of DNA. Okay. Now it should be multiplied by 100, as you said, to convert it into percentage. Right. This much is clear. Now you need to return this GC percentage to the main program. Okay. So you need to write return GC. All right. Now you are asking that we have not used anything to get the input, right? So for that, now you do one thing. You come out from that code, and now you take the variable name, say for example DNA equals input. What you will write? Enter DNA sequence. Enter DNA sequence. Okay. Now you want to store that DNA. You will call that function, isn't it? What is the function name? DNA length. DNA length. Now this function name should be stored into a variable. Suppose that variable is a, not a. That is what I say. Okay, result, res. Okay. Now tell me, I can print this result, right? Or I can modify this thing as GC percent equals result. I can type that GC% and the result will be printed. Now tell me if the program is correct or not. You can tell me before I run that. You can tell me whether it will run or I need to change something.
Sir, should not we use that DNA, I mean the input sequence
Yes.
inside the definition part, I mean inside the defined part?
Inside the defined part, yes. So here we need to pass the parameter or argument. Okay. So you are saying that we need to pass this DNA here. Right. Very good. And then next, what are the other changes to be done?
Sir, we have to put the bases ATGC.
Why? We are not dealing with AT. We are only dealing with GC, and we have counted that thing.
But sir, when we put the sequences, there was present AT also.
Yes, but that will not be counted. A and T will not be counted. Only G and C will be counted. Where is the problem?
Okay, sir. So only put here G and C.
Yes, but this code will run or not?
DNA not count.
Sorry.
DNA not count.
Right. So you need to put that DNA over here. Otherwise, in which string it will count that G that you have not mentioned. So you need to mention that you are trying to work on this DNA string. Whatever you will insert on that string, the G will be counted. Similarly for here, DNA dot count C. Now again, whether this is okay. Will this code run? What do you think? Whether it is okay?
Sir, result is equal to DNA length of DNA.
Right. We have not used the parameter again. If I run in this condition, so it is running. It is running and it is asking for the DNA sequence, right? So you can type the DNA sequence ATGC. Simple. I am taking the simple one ATGC. Now this is a sequence. So you can directly calculate what will be the GC percent for this. What result you are expecting? What will be the GC percent? Tell me.
50%.
100%. Who said that? GC percent, you are calculating G plus C divided by length of the DNA multiplied by 100. So what is G plus C?
50%, sir.
50%. So you are expecting that the print statement will give you GC percent equal to 50. But if you press the enter button, you are getting that DNA length missing one required positional argument DNA. So that means you missed here to use the parameter again. Okay. You need to do that. Otherwise, when you are calling the function without the argument, so it will not work. So you need to use that thing. You need to pass
So
this
sir,
argument.
whenever we are using def command
Hmm.
and defining a function,
Hmm.
so inside that def command, we only can use an argument, but we cannot use any other functions like input. Like I am saying whether like you have written here def DNA length within bracket DNA.
Right.
Where DNA is an argument and we are
Right.
defining DNA as input, enter
Right.
DNA sequence.
Right.
But
So
what would
you
happen
want
if
to use input
yes,
here.
yes, exactly.
I need to check that whether it will take that directly. Probably it will work. Probably it will work. But in that case, what you will write here? So then you need to write the full command over here. Okay, I am trying that, and we'll see that. But if you run this thing, it will work now. ATGC, and we are getting 50%. Okay. Now, is this clear? This way you can do. This way you can write this code. Okay. Now you are saying that you want to write this line here, right? Instead of using from outside the code. Now let's check what it will do. It is taking this and you are getting this value again. So exactly the same thing is running, but here you see you are what I said in the last class, that you are uh, fixing that argument value. Okay, so that means yeah, you can see that example. One example was given that what was that? Sorry. Yes. So this is the default argument. You are fixing that value, right? By this way. So this is an example of default value. You are passing that value as default, right? So we have used that in the last class, and here we are using the DNA variable, and we are taking the input here. Okay, you can do that, but for the starting to understand this logic, so you can try for outside the function. So then you go for the modification of this code. using this way. Okay, no problem with that. All right. So, is there any problem? Any doubt? I think you can try to write your code by this way. So then, step by step, you will understand that how the code can write. Okay. So this is the next question. Write a Python code to calculate the molecular weight of the peptide AALB. The molecular weight of ALB are this respectively. Write the result in an output file result.txt. Okay. The same kind of question given. What you need to do? You don't need to write any user defined function, and you don't need to take the peptide from the user because the peptide sequence is already given. So you can directly start with this pep AAA LV, right? You can directly write this thing. Now, what will be the next line? It's very easy. Can anyone tell me?
Sir, should not we just make a dictionary for the molecular weights?
Yes, you can use dictionary. You can modify in many different ways. But what will be the simple scenario? Those who are just starting their code, so how they can count this A, count this L, and count this V. So that is the first requirement, isn't it? So try to solve it in simple way and then go for the uh, complicated way. So simply, what is your goal? Your goal is to calculate the number of A, number of L, and number of V. So that's why you can multiply those values, you can add those things, and then you need to subtract the n minus 1 molecule of water, isn't it? So that will be the molecular weight of that peptide. So how you can calculate that value of A? Similar example is given over here, the earlier one. A equals to pep dot count. What it will count? A. Okay, one thing I forgot. Suppose here I am going back to this example again. Now suppose here you are entering this ATGC. Now what will happen? Now what will happen? Am I audible? Can anyone tell me that what will happen? Why? Hello?
Because there is no capital G or C in the sequence.
Okay. So you are saying that okay, let me stop this thing and run again. Okay, ATGC. Now it is saying that, okay, so DNA is not defined. What is the problem? Okay, so see, in earlier example, I think there was a mistake. That was the doubt. Yes.
Sir,
So
can it run if we just remove the DNA from the DNA? I mean, from in the seventh line, sir. In the seventh line.
from here,
Yes, sir.
let's say, yes. So yes, then it will run because you have already used that DNA, and that's why you are not passing that argument again. Otherwise, it is so it will show you some error again. But what I was trying to understand that if trying to run again ATGC, so then what will happen? Yes, it is showing 0. Okay, it is showing 0
The
because
previously run at
no,
first
no,
when you
no,
give
no.
the 80 small amount.
That's why I rerun the kernel, because I know that that should not be uh, the case, because sometimes in Jupyter Notebook, due to some cache memory, this kind of things happen. But you should rerun the kernel, so then you will check that it is not running. Okay, so multiple time I am running the same code, so that's why from the previous memory it is showing the result, but actually it is not happening. So that is a problem of Jupyter Notebook. I told you earlier also. So don't trust your program, even if you are running by, if you are running, if you are writing by your own, so then also you don't trust your code unless and until you can verify it with multiple devices or multiple uh, IDE. Okay. So suppose you are writing in Jupyter Notebook, you think that okay, this is running, that means it is working. But if you go to another ideally IDE like ideally or PyCharm, so there the code is not running. So that means something is uh, fishy. Okay, you need to identify that error. Okay, different ideally has some own limitation kind of thing. So you see that this is not running. This is not running, but this is not the correct answer, or the way you are entering your sequence, that is in small letter, but you have defined that in your code, that nucleotide, that bases in capital letter, and that's why it is not understanding that what to be done, and it is uh, showing you the result as 0. So what you can do to overcome this problem, you can simply use dot upper. Okay, dot upper. So that means whatever you are entering, that will be converted into uppercase, and then you can do it here uppercase. You can define. You can now you run and you give in small letter. So you are getting 50. Okay, to cross check, you interrupt the kernel, you restart the kernel, and then again you rerun. Okay, ATGC in small letter, and you can see that 50%. So that means whatever input you are giving, so that string will be converted to uppercase letter, and then it will do the same thing. Okay, so for the simplicity, I am removing this line again, so that you can do whatever you want, but for simple case, try to use in this way. And when you are taking the input, you use upper. Okay, and now you run ATGC 50%. Again you run with ATGC 50%. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay. Now go back to the next example. So that is the, so similarly quickly you can write for the other one, that is L equals pep dot count L, and then V equals pep dot count V. Okay. Next, what you need to do? You need to calculate the molecular weight. So what will be the molecular weight? What I will write? Molecular weight equals A
Small a into 89 plus
small
like
a
that.
into 89 plus L multiplied by what was the value? 131 plus V multiplied by 117 plus or minus. So this is this value, and then we need to subtract how many water molecules? That is ln of
Okay.
F minus 1 multiplied by 18, right? So this will be the molecular weight, and simply print molecular weight of the peptide is what? MW. Now we are getting 443. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of code. Okay. And this is only 8 lines of code in very simple way. Now many of you have, I don't know where from you got this 1 page or 2 pages of code for this. Many things you have written. I don't understand where from you get this code. If you are trying to write by your own, so you will find that these are very easy if you understand this thing. Otherwise, if you are trying to copy and paste from somewhere else, so you will find that ultimately you are not getting the result and you are wasting your time. Okay. And if you understand this thing, so then you are studying from any book or any material, so that is fine. That is fine. You should use that material. I'm not saying that you don't go to other sites or other examples. Obviously, you need to uh, use those examples as far as possible, because that will help you to
Sir,
build your concept. Yes.
sir, sir, the second one was it. We have to print it in a file,
Okay.
result.txt.
Okay. Yes. 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 So you need to print that in a result file. Result. Okay. So what you can do? You can open another new file here, or to better practice is to open, if you open or close, if you are trying to open or open some new file, so open that on uh, the very first line. Okay, open file name is result.txt. Okay, and it should be in W mode because you want to write something. And now you can use a file handler, so you can give any name. I am giving fh over here. Fh is equal to this, and now you okay, so maybe there are files named as result, so I am modifying this thing with result 1 2 3. Okay, otherwise the previous result might be erased. Okay, so or I can use it in X mode. Okay, to check that whether the file is there. And now I need to write the result on that file. So what I need to do? Just simple modification is required. What I will write? Instead of printing on the screen, on the terminal, what I am doing here, I am trying to write the result on the result.txt file. So for that, what line, what thing I need to write here? Can anyone tell me?
F
Hello?
dot right.
F dot write. Okay.
FH.
If h dot write, and then
Bracket.
bracket,
We have to write whatever we have to write. Suppose
right,
molecular weight of the this one.
right.
The FF it is typed by mistake.
Sorry.
File handler name.
Okay, okay.
FF.
fh dot write molecular weight and this. So now you can uh, block this print
close.
statement,
Close the file.
right? So you need to close the file also, and that is very simple way, fh dot close. So file will close. Okay. Now if you don't use this print statement, so what you will get? What is the problem? What is the problem? Okay, okay. So another thing is, when you are writing something, so you cannot use in this way. So in print statement, you can use comma and this, but in write mode, they will not understand what do you mean by that comma separated thing. So you need to concatenate this thing. Okay. So you can use this one. Yeah, file exists. It is showing file exists, and that's why it is not running. Okay, I don't want to erase that file, so I am modifying this file name only. So okay, another problem. What is that? What is that? Can you tell me where is the problem? It is showing the problem.
Sir, MV is integer.
Which
We have
one?
to convert it. M molecular weight MV
Right, right.
is
So we
integer.
need to
So we
convert
cannot
it
concatenate.
to string by this way, right? Yes. Now you run this. Oh, I have already run it. So it is saying that result 1, 2, 3 also exists. Okay. Now I can modify this with W, and then it will erase and will write the output file. Do not look into this number. Okay, that is a junk value. You have not printed anything. All right. So if you run in any other IDE like ideally or PyCharm or anywhere, so you will not get this kind of line number. As it is Jupyter notebook, you can see some numbers are there, but it is written. Right? It is written in result 123.txt file. You can go back to that directory where you are running this thing, and you can see that result 123 file is created. Here it is, result 123.txt. You can click on this and you can see that result is printed. Okay. So only 7-8 lines of code, and you can do this kind of stuff. Okay.